Hi guys, Jason here with Jason's Trucking Info, and if you've never been here before, this channel is all about helping all truck drivers to be better truck drivers. Whether or not you're thinking about becoming a truck driver, in the process of going through school and all that and trying to become a truck driver, or whether you've been a driver for years, my videos are dedicated to helping all truck drivers. Though my videos are kind of more directed at the new guys, the people trying to become truck drivers or thinking about it. But sometimes I do videos that will help the seasoned driver, things that maybe people need to be reminded of. Maybe some of you seasoned drivers have forgot a few of the things that you first learned when you first started driving, and you've stopped thinking about certain things and certain aspects of being a truck driver. So that being said, if those are the type of videos that you want to watch, that is what this channel is all about. This channel is all about truck drivers and becoming better as a truck driver. So if that's what you want, hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell so you're notified of all videos that I do, whether those are live feeds, which are just basically me hanging out talking. Sometimes I might say important stuff, sometimes it's just me and whoever pops in on the live feed just BSing. But all my videos are directed at being helpful and helping truck drivers because of all the BS that is surrounded and how hard it is at becoming a truck driver, and all the stuff that they just don't tell you, and that a lot of drivers just don't get told or taught stuff that they should have been taught from the beginning. What kind of driver do you want to be? Do you want to be one of those drivers that can run your butt off and make some money? Do you want to be one of those drivers that gets to go home every night? Do you want to be one of those drivers that owns their own truck? What kind of driver do you want to be, and do you want to know what it takes to become a driver? I can't talk to you about being an owner operator or a lease operator because I've never done that, so you will never see me post a video on advice on doing that. You might see me do an interview with a driver that does have those experiences and can give you advice on that. But I myself, I've always been a company driver, and that's all I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to talk to you about the stuff that I'm doing and have done. Okay, and I'm going to speak from my experience and knowledge. I'm not going to try to tell you how to do things that I don't know how to do. I'm just not going to do it. So there's a lot of different things you got to think about if you're going to become a truck driver. One of those is, can you handle sleeping in a truck? Can you handle sleeping in a truck stop where it could be noisy? There could be all kinds of things going on, noises. These trucks are noisy when they're idle. Even new trucks are noisy, especially if they got a reefer unit on them, or my APU unit on this old 2011 T660 Kenworth is quite loud. It's actually louder than if I just idled the truck. But the APU uses a lot less fuel when just sitting for the night than if I ran the engine. But you know, it's going to be noisy. That's one of the things that you got to, there's some people are made to be truck drivers and some people are not. Some people can handle the rough stuff. Some people can handle driving nights and days. Some people can only handle driving during the daytime, which we call, in the industry, we call them solar drivers. It's kind of a derogative term, but we call them solar drivers. The drivers that they can get up and drive when the sun comes up, and they can drive until maybe a few hours after the sun is going down, and then they're just start going dead in the water, and they got to pull over and park and go to sleep, and then they're good to go when the sun comes up. That's pretty much a solar driver. And then you've got what we call steering wheel holders, which are just the guys that they don't really know how to make any real good decisions. They just get in there and they hold, they steer down the road, they go, they stop where they're told to stop. They have to be told what to do. They cannot figure too much out on their own. They always have to call their dispatcher, and they cannot figure stuff out on their own. And if they got a co-driver, their co-driver is probably the one making all the decisions and thinking through the problem-solving process when things happen. So, which one are you on your truck if you're on a team truck? Are you the driver that is solving problems, or are you the guy that is looking to your dispatcher, your co-driver, or everyone else in the truck stop because you can't figure things out? Now, everybody has to look towards other people once in a while. Everybody needs help once in a while. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the guy who can't figure out some of the simplest things on their own. And I'm not going to get into those details. I'm just going to say that much. Now, there's all kinds of drivers. There's fair weather drivers, drivers that refuse to drive if it even starts to rain. If the weather gets any kind of bad, if they see a snowflake, they're pulling their butt over. If they have to chain, they're pulling their butt over. They're not gonna chain, no matter what. Chaining is not that hard. It's a pain in the butt. You get dirty, you get all kinds of rust and crap all over you, and you're not gonna want to wear your nice clothes. And you're probably gonna have to change your clothes after you're done chaining, after you've chained up, driven over the mountain that you have to chain to get over. And once you get to the other side, you take the chains off and put them back in wherever you keep your chains at on your truck. You're changing your clothes because you're probably gonna be filthy, dirty, wet, sopping wet with all kinds of dirt, mud. Probably sopping wet because of snow. You probably got snow stuck to you, melting, and your clothes are going to be sopping wet, and you got to change your clothes, and it sucks. It's just the way it is. You got to decide what kind of truck driver you want to be if you're going to become a truck driver. There's all kinds of different drivers. Are you going to be the driver that doesn't take care of himself and becomes fat and sassy and worse over time, and after a couple years as a driver, you've gone from being a skinny guy to being a really fat guy or girl? I'm not leaving you girls out of this either. Are you going to be one of those people that are respectful to other people, that you say, that you wave to people, that you say hi, you open up doors for people, you try to be respectful and move your truck out of the way so other truckers can get up to the pumps, and you try to be respectful when you go to shippers and receivers. You try to remember names because you might go back there someday, and you try to get a name. You try to ask for names of people and shake people's hands and try to have a pleasant way about you. And you may or may not tell jokes, but you are at least nice. And when you walk into places, people look forward to seeing you, especially if they've seen you before, because they know that you're going to be nice. And when you know how to conduct yourself when you're at shippers, receivers, truck stops, anywhere with the cops, it's the same thing. If the cop's pulling you over for something, are you the guy that tries to argue with the cops and winds up getting another ticket that you probably wouldn't have gotten just because you don't know when to shut up? There's truck drivers like that. They don't know when to shut up. They're rude. They're nasty. Half the time, no one wants to be around them. Those guys, sometimes they can get, sent on their way. They try to do everything they can to get those guys out of there because they don't want to deal with them anymore. But on the flip side, a lot of times those guys are held over more. They won't help them. They'll make them wait before they get their load. They'll purposely do it, and they won't even tell them. They'll make up some BS excuse. Tell them, hey, stuff's not gonna be ready till tomorrow, dude. And they'll go work on somebody else's stuff that was behind you in line. And you might find that 3 or 4 other truck drivers get to their load and get gone before you do, just because you treated everybody like crap. You got to know how to treat people. Anyway, there is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, if you've never read it, by Dale Carnegie. It comes and there's so many different prints of it, and if you read that, that is the perfect book for any of you to read. I wish I had a copy with it on the truck. I have a couple copies at home. I should bring that puppy on the truck and a few others. Now that I have my own truck, I can actually bring books on the truck. I never did think about that till just now. But that is a really good book that anybody should read that wants to learn how to be better with people and to get along better. It really teaches you how to have those people skills. It really does. That's basically what it's about. And you got to decide what kind of driver you want to be in this industry, and who do you want to drive for, what kind of runs you want to do. This industry has a gazillion possibilities and combinations of things you can do. All kinds of different runs, all kinds of different equipment, all kinds of different companies that do haul all kinds of different materials and things all over the country. You can drive flatbed, reefer, dry van, tanker truck, you can do food grade tanker, you can do all kinds of stuff. There's different kinds of trucks. You can haul grain truck, like they got some grain trucks over here. They come in to get washed here at Randy's. They got a wash bay here, right over here. And there's all kinds of possibilities in the trucking industry. It's crazy just how much vast variety there is in the truck driving industry for you to come in and do. You just gotta get through a truck driving school of some sort, whatever, and you gotta deal with all the BS, and trust me, they make you do a lot of stuff that is just kind of redundantly stupid. Some of it's important, some of it's not, but you gotta go through it. Get out, get with the trainer, learn as much as you can. Never think that you know anything, because even to this day, after me holding a CDL since February of 2000, and now it's 2018, and I'm still a truck driver, and I had to fight my way back in it because I had a bad experience getting into the industry with CR England. It was bad. I could have let that ruin me and not come back into the trucking industry, but I fought my way back in. I did some local stuff, did some different jobs through temp agencies, different things. I was able to get on with the company and haul laundry for about almost 3 years. And then I did some other things that had nothing to do with driving a truck. And then I worked, when I was working at Walmart in the stores, not a driver. I was a unloader twice. I was a cashier once. I worked in the deli once. I was in the TLE and got screwed over and pushed over into being an unloader. And that's all between 3 different Walmarts in the Des Moines area. And it was kind of BS, but I went from that last time, that third time being an unloader, and I worked there for that time, 1.5 to 2 years. I don't know. I don't remember how long I was there. But I went and got back in the trucking industry. I filled out an online application that does an app to a whole bunch of different places, and CRST called me, and I wound up bringing my girlfriend at the time with me, and we went as a refresher student and her as a newbie, and went through CRST. And I thought CR England did a lot better at teaching the classroom stuff than CRST did, but I felt that when I was working for a CST, things worked a lot smoother to some degree. But it is what it is. They're okay for starter companies to get your feet wet, but once you get some time in, you want to get at least 2 years of experience, and try not to get in the jam I did, where I was out soloed for about a month and a half or whatever it was, 2 months maybe, after I got soloed from school, after I got out from my trainer. And I had a backing accident, and I had another kind of an accident. And between those two accidents and having a bunch of late loads because I was learning everything the hard way, all kinds of things going on. I was just struggling like crazy, doing all kinds of things wrong, and I was just starting to figure things out. And after the last accident, they sent me over to Denver. I sat at the Denver TA in Wheat Ridge for a few days, and I sat at the other one in Commerce City for a few days, and I was there for a good week. And I finally picked up a load of beer, and they sent me with a ton of time to get back to Salt Lake City, Utah, back to their place there. And I basically got fired there on the spot as soon as I got there. And they sent me home back to Iowa with a guy that when we stopped for him to take his break, I think he took, was it 2 different times? He stopped and he went into the truck stop and he bought him a 40-ounce beer and was standing outside the truck drinking in the shadow. He went in the dark. It was summertime, so it was still, warm out. And he was out there drinking a 40. And then he told me I should go try hauling chickens and stuff. And, I was just like, okay, whatever. And there's all kinds of things you can do in this industry, and there's all kinds of ways. If you really want to be a truck driver and you think it's in your blood, you can do it. What kind of truck driver do you want to be is basically the point of this video. What kind of stuff do you want to haul? Do you want to go all over the country? Do you want to stay a little more local? There's regional, local, there's OTR, there's team, there's solo, there's relief drivers, there's all kind of drivers. There's drivers that do nothing but go after abandoned trucks. These bigger companies tend to have a lot of new drivers, usually new drivers. Sometimes it's the guys that have been there a while, but they have drivers that abandon their trucks at truck stops and rest areas and different places. But they got drivers that go and pick up abandoned trucks all over the place, and not really a good recommendation because that really sucks and they tend to screw over those drivers. So I hear. I don't know from experience. You'll have to ask about that yourself. Are people like me who drive agricultural loads of, like, I haul liquid egg now. I was just hauling U.S. mail. Now I haul liquid egg, and I get to do tax exemptions of 150-mile radius of the source load, and I don't have to be logged in during that 150 miles of the source load as long as I stay within that 150 miles. As soon as I go outside the 150 miles, I have to log just like you guys do. So I can literally stay logged off as long as I stay within that 150 miles of the source load. Now, there's some confusion with some of the drivers here. Randy's, I guess there's some drivers that are staying logged off even if they're picking up a load. They think they can, or not picking up a load, dropping off a load. When you drop off a load, it doesn't count with dropping off a load if you're not picking up a load. I guess I'm still learning this stuff, but anyway, there's agricultural loads, farm loads and stuff, which is a whole other ball game. There's whole different rules for that. All kinds of different truck drivers out there. So what kind of driver do you want to be? Do you want to be the type of driver that shippers, receivers, and people you see on a regular basis look forward to seeing you? Or do you want to be one of those drivers that when you show up, they dread seeing you, and they may or may not be that helpful? They might purposely make you wait because they don't like you, because you caused them grief, because of your attitude and whatever else, because you don't know how to come in and be respectful when you come in, and you think that they are the rude ones when you're the one coming in, thinking that because you showed up they gotta drop everything for you. You gotta walk in and be patient. Remember that you are not the only driver coming in there, and you are not that they don't have to just jump up and take care of your needs right then and there. They've got many different tasks that they got to do, along with getting you loaded or unloaded or whatever the situation might be. If you're when you're in a truck stop buying stuff, you need to stay humble and not think that everybody needs to just jump up and take care of you. There's too much attitude in this world. Too many people think that they should be waited on first. They should get all the attention right then, or something. That if something's not right, if they're not getting loaded, or if there's a screw up with communication, that the company that's loading you should take care of you right then and there, and oh yeah, we'll get you in the door right away. No, it doesn't work that way. Alright guys, in a nutshell, that pretty much says what I wanted to. I realized that footage just kind of came to an abrupt end, but through the editing process I pretty much said what I wanted to say in this video. Basically, what kind of driver do you want to be, just as the title says. So you got to decide what kind of driver you're going to be and stuff like that. So what kind of driver are you going to be?